Now let's talk about the heaven's decision to bring down a supernatural to live amongst the natural. The prophet Isaiah defined that moment as a period of silence where the Trinity chose to live among humanity. Here I am, Father, send me. We are the words of total submission to the mission of fixing the nations, which stood still as a result of sinful living and almost drowning in total doom and destruction. The divine visitation which stood after the total submission and admission to the call of nations of the world was a moment when the giver of fruitfulness transformed to become the fruit, and when the tree became blessed amongst all. There was that reincarnation of the Master of Divinity into sublimation to be born amongst that nation, the being which brought about illumination to the gathering of Christians amongst the nations. Therefore, message passed before the reincarnation was assented at the baptism and heaven's declaration. Now, there needed to be a clear confirmation. And yes, this is my beloved Son was that confirmation. And of course, there was a demarcation between the earth beings and the divinity. It did not stop there. The devil was not satisfied as he led the divinity into 3 scenes of trials and temptation. And at the end, victory was given, and there immediately was a condemnation of the diabolical and his kingdom. Even in his mission, mankind was still skeptical about his description. How can there be a transformation of the church in 3 days? Of course, it led to a series of damnation and condemnation. The divinity tasted the bitterness of the passion, oppression, repression, and pains on the crucifixion. Earth beings proposes ejection. Even heavens stood still and quiet at earth's rejection. He longed for what he created. He so tasted what was contaminated. But at the end, there was an ascension of the conclusion of his mission, the resurrection of the saints. That division, marginalization of the earth beings from the holies of holies through his redemption was replaced with reconciliation. The transformation of the church in 3 days was effected as his ascension, where the battle was finally won and the victory given unto heaven's celebration.